What's up, everybody? Welcome to Boston Globe Sports Report Plus. We're giving you bonus content here from Super Bowl 60, live from Radio Row. I'm Ben Volin, joined again by Chad Finn, Globe Sports columnist, Globe Sports media columnist, and that's why, Chad, you're a good guest to have on right now. There's a story that transcends the Super Bowl. It broke today on Wednesday. The Washington Post, the venerable Washington Post, an institution in media, in politics, announced today that they're going to close and shutter the sports department. Most of their sports writers got laid off this morning. To me, just an awful, terrible, tragic decision by the Washington Post. What's your take on it, Chad?
Yeah, it's devastating. The Washington Post has a storied sports department. The fans of PTI will know Michael Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser from there, but it goes back much, much further. Shirley Povich and Tom Boswell, who just recently got into the Baseball Hall of Fame the last couple of years. It's one of the great sports sections historically of all time, and now it's gone, and it's gone on the whims of an owner who has killed it from the inside, really. It wasn't just sports that was a department cut. It was slash the books and Metro and international reporting. And the Post likes to say their slogan's been for a while that democracy dies in darkness. Well, so does journalism, and they dealt a pretty harsh blow to it into sports journalism today.
Yeah, democracy dies when journalism dies, and there's no way to couch this move by Jeff Bezos other than what seems like an intentful dismantling of the Washington Post.
It is. It can't be looked at any other way, right? With some of the shifts, they're going to blame it on losing a reported 250,000 subscriptions after they did not endorse Kamala Harris and killed a
self-inflicted.
Yeah, killed a endorsement of her for the 2024 election. That caused a huge backlash, but you had to anticipate that. And now they're cutting parts of the newspaper that their readers are really deeply going to care about. It's only going to get worse from there. I don't know what his end game is, but it looks pretty grim.
Yeah, it's a real travesty too. Like, I understand if the sports department maybe was losing money and maybe things needed to be reevaluated, how they cover teams or how they travel, but you don't just slash the entire department. That's just giving up. That's just
right.
a really easy answer, a really lame answer, and it makes you wonder what's really the motivation behind it. I've talked to Washington Post staffers who think this is all part of Jeff Bezos' plans to kind of capitulate to the president right now and the administration. Yeah. And you got to think they're high-fiving each other in the White House right now. One of the big adversaries of any administration is the Washington Post and a free, strong, independent press. And it's really tragic to see how Jeff Bezos has totally kneecapped the Washington Post and detracted, taken away so much of what has made it great.
There's a symbolism to it because of Watergate, the Washington Post reporting back then. A lot of politicians over the years would have been happy to see the Post take some blows. This is an entirely different level of things with the current administration. Obviously, they're celebrating what Jeff Bezos has done to the Post, and like we keep saying, a really dark day. Yeah,
it's shocking. The Washington Post, long been an institution. It's the paper I grew up reading. It's one of the sports sections that can compete with the Boston Globe for legendary writers. You mentioned Tony Kornheiser, Michael Wilbon, Thomas Boswell, Sally Jenkins. You know, they're a great NFL reporter, Mark Maskey. He's been covering a sports writer for 38 years, covering the NFL for who knows how long. He's here at the Super Bowl this week. All of a sudden, he finds out today that he doesn't have a job anymore. Really tough circumstances for everyone involved. I don't understand how you're helping serve your mission or serve your readers when you're cutting all of your great reporters like that.
Yeah, and I felt bad for them all along too, Ben, because when people dropped the subscriptions after the decision to pull the endorsement, the writers and reporters were the ones that were hurt. They were the ones. We have so many colleagues that left to go to the Post. Many of whom lost their jobs today, and they would plead with readers to, we're still trying to do good work, don't hold our owner against us. But when you're angry at something and you have a right to be, the reaction is you don't want to pay for that. You don't want to be involved with that anymore. And so Bezos and the Post management is going to blame it on the people that dropped their subscriptions, but that is not the reason for what happened to the Post Sports Department.
No, and unfortunately, I don't know if Jeff Bezos and his people are going to be looking for anyone to blame. I think this is probably all part of their plan. And it is shocking to me that a major metro area like Washington, D.C. now doesn't have a major newspaper covering the Washington Commanders or the Capitals, who are huge. It's just a shocking, saddening decision for the Washington Post all around. All right, Chad, hopefully we get some better news here the rest of the week at Super Bowl 60. Chad, Finn, Ben Volin. We'll catch you guys more on Boston Globe Sports Report Plus.